What's going on, guys? It's Greg from East Coast Dyes, and today we have a review of the new STX Super Power Plus. So this is the newest head from STX and the latest head in the Proton Power Super Power line. And here we have the limited edition version, which is done in conjunction with Peter Baum in his favorite color, the Carolina Blue, which makes sense because it's a machine and used to use a Carolina Blue Super Power in college. So they made a limited edition of which there's only 250 units. So here we have number 233 out of 250. It was a special early release, so each one has its number engraved in the back, and the total cost for the limited edition unit is $149.99, which is steep, but there's only 250 and they are a little bit special and a cool early release. And so I assume, like the Stallion, they'll be releasing them in full colors at a lower price point sometime in the future. So the Super Power is the lightest head in the STX lineup. They've reduced the weight from the first Super Power and have made it just 4.6 ounces, which is a little bit lighter than the original Super Power and definitely the lightest head that STX offers right now. So we'll kind of take you through the history of the Proton Power Super Power line. So way long ago, when I was in like middle school, there was an STX Proton, which was a much wider head, and that was the original one. Then they released, when I was in college, the Proton Power, which you can see here. Very narrow head, great face shape, used by a ton of awesome players, but very few sidewall holes. Then, when the 2010 rule change came around, they introduced the first STX Super Power, which was used by some of the best college players around, including Peter Baum. It was a terrific head, but had a couple issues, like it would warp through the middle since it's such a long head, and didn't have that much stiffness, and it was lacking sidewall holes still. So then, relatively recently, STX released the new Proton Power, which featured their C-channel technology and more string holes and improved size and shape, and some cosmetic upgrades, which made it a really nice improvement for high school players. And everybody loves the Super Power, so ever since this head came out, people have been wondering, when was the C-channel Super Power going to come out? And so now it is here, the STX Super Power Plus, which features C-channel technology and ACP technology, and it's the first STX head to have both those in one head, so we'll get into those a little bit later. So for the overall face shape, look, and design of the Super Power Plus, they took everything that everybody loved from the Super Power and just made some slight tweaks and improvements. So they moved the pinch and flare point up just a little bit and added a lot of cosmetic designs, rounded out this top rail, did a lot more cutaways and new design features in the throat, which helped them reduce some weight. Same thing on the inside of here, you'll see some cutaways and design features just to cut a little weight away so they could make it the lightest head that they could. And at the bottom, they added their C-channel technology, which was first introduced with the STX Stallion line. So essentially that's just strengthening up the bottom rail where you need extra strength by putting this groove in here with the thick parts on the top and bottom. So you get a little bit of extra strength without really adding weight. And one thing they really focused on was getting the feel of the head and the flex correctly, and I believe Peter Baum helped him out with what he likes when he's shooting. So it's a very long head, which is going to give you as much accuracy as possible. And they focused on keeping the throat rigid and the top a little bit flexible. So you can see I can move it pretty freely, so that when you shoot, the head is actually going to pinch a little bit and elongate and give you a lot more accuracy and make sure the ball is going straight down the middle every time. So for the stringing, STX made sure that there were plenty of holes. There's 4 large ones up at the top and just 4 at the top scoop, and then still the same Super Power bottom where it only has the 2, and then the sidewall holes that go really low. So now we're going to string up the Super Power Plus and see how it goes.
Control. Complete control.
Alright, so we've got the STX Super Power Plus all strung up. It's strung up really well. I've strung a lot of Super Powers in my day, and this one's strung up very similar. It actually has the same number of sidewall holes, but slightly different placement and sizing. They took them from round to this more octagonal shape, or I guess it's more of a pentagon. I'm not really sure what that is. It has 4 sides, and they added the C channel, which changed it up a little bit. So I strung it up with mid pocket, which I thought would be ideal for a midfielder, with NCAA legal shooter setup and striker East Coast mesh with 2 nylons and a straight, so you can really load up under that bottom shooter and get a lot of snap. It should be a pretty good midfield pocket, and it's strung up relatively easy. I did have a couple complaints in the string department. The first is one thing I was hoping they'd fix from the newer Proton Power, but they had not, is that this rail comes down right kind of where you want a sidewall hole sometimes, and they skipped one because they had the rail design come into the bottom hole, or the bottom rail, so they couldn't put a sidewall hole there. So that's a little unfortunate. And then in general, I just don't like stringing C-channel heads because it's so wide on the bottom of the rail. It leads to your knots not being quite as tight and your sidewall not being quite as tight. And also the bottom string, or the bottom sidewall hole, you can't get the knot all the way up against the hole because the C-channel is preventing it, because you have to get way deep down in the groove. And then the bottom string has always been a problem with the Super Power. You couldn't string a traditional knit really with much ease because there's not 4 straight across bottom string holes. And it just makes it a little bit awkward to string a mesh pocket as well from standard bottom strings you'd be used to. But even foregoing those issues, it's still very, very, very easy to string a pocket. The face shape is great as far as X-Spec face shapes go for pulling down and grabbing. A nice channel for your head. So overall, pleased with the stringing outside of those couple issues that I discussed. So in conclusion, I really like the STX Super Power Plus. I think it's a great revamp for one of the most iconic heads in lacrosse. Strung up really well. I think it's going to play really well. I like the elongation and the new details. I do still have some doubts about long-term warping issues, but I think the ACP is really going to help with that. So I think in the long term, it will hold up well. So overall, really like the head. Make sure to check it out, pre-order now, and get the limited edition. And have a great day.